Hello and welcome to your build-up of Sheffield United against West Ham United, your match live on Sky Sports this evening. The lineups are a couple of minutes away, although I know it. Gonzo, before I tell you the personnel, we're playing 3 at the back. Are you surprised at that, given what we thought was a shaky performance by the back 3 against Gillingham?
I'm not surprised at that at all, and I'll tell you why I wasn't surprised at that, because I saw an article earlier saying Cardoso was on the bench. And if Cardano, you're obviously going to either confirm or deny that. And a minute, I thought, well, hold on a second. If that's the case, obviously it's Winston Reid can't play because I guess he wasn't registered in the Premier League squad, so he can't be on. He wasn't part of the 25 named players, was he, for Winston Reid? So if they're playing 3, they need a centre back on the bench. So they've drafted him in. If we were playing 2, it would have just been Diop on the bench. So I did me Sherlock Holmes stuff, and you're going to tell me I'm wrong now.
No, I don't know what the bench is, actually. I don't know the bench. I just know the first 11. Lucas Fabianski continues his goal as always. I'll just wait for the official team come through, just in case it's wrong, just in case what I've been told is wrong. But it's as expected, I think. It's as expected. And apart from, do you know something, actually, Gonzo? It's a team I wanted to see in the preview. So I think it doesn't happen very often, does it? Because why would it? We're not football managers, we're football fans. But the West Ham team, Lucas Fabianski in goal, Ogbonna, Balbuena and Creswell are centre-backs, actually. That's slightly different. Apparently Masuaku was meant to be starting, really. So Ogbonna, Balbuena, Creswell centre-backs. Creswell back into left centre-back, as Moyes liked the first time. Zabaleta and Masuaku are wing-backs. Rice, Noble, Lanzini in midfield with Felipe Anderson and Sebastian Aller up front.
No fornicator.
No, he is not on the bench. He is on the bench, sorry. The bench is a couple of youngsters here. Martin, Cardoso, Diop. Hang on, I didn't say Diop first. Oh yeah, Diop's not listed. Snodgrass, Fornals. And then we've got the 2 youngsters, Rosa, and I don't know how you pronounce this guy's name, actually. Is it Nagakia? Ngakia. It's 2 youngsters on the bench. One of them's a centre midfielder, and one of them's like a right wing, right back, right midfield. Can play it down the whole right hand side, really. Nagakia, but no Pablo Fornals. That's a strange one.
So, but he is on the bench, you say?
Yes.
I need to have a look at this. Say myself. Well, this is very, very strange. So, Diop is on the bench, or he's not?
He is.
Well, this is very, very weird and not particularly good for Diop. If Diop can't get in the team with 3 centre backs, Diop can't get in the team.
Yeah, Creswell's preferred at left centre back rather than having Diop. The thing is, I don't blame him, because against Gillingham, I thought Diop was the shaky one. I thought Diop was the one that looked the worst in the back 3. I thought Balbuena was a bit iffy for the first 10 minutes or so, but I thought he got into it. I thought Ogbonna was perfectly fine in the back 3. But Ogbonna's played there for Juventus. He played there under David Moyes as well. Creswell, we know, can play there under David Moyes. So Moyes has gone to who looked comfortable, essentially. The Zabaleta one's by default. Masuaku left wing back. Well, because Creswell's left back, you kind of have to put Masuaku left wing back. But no Fornals. I'm not going to lie, Gonzo, I'm not happy about that.
I think there were 2 bombshells there, Geo. That's one of them. I think Diop is the other one. I think Diop's off. That's it.
Why is he on the bench? Fornals has been our best player. Him and Ogbonna have been our best 2 players for the last month, comfortably. Them 2 are the first names. And
Moyes has praised him.
Yeah, because he runs about a lot, and actually the guy he's put in there, Lanzini, has not been running about very much recently.
Yeah, I am shocked. I am shocked at both of those. That being said, I'd have Lanzini in the team every one of my teams. So I'd have Lanzini in the team because I think he's got magic in his boots. He's one of the few players that can skip past a player, and any time you can skip past a player, you ruin people's tactics. Because it takes one person out of there. But I would have expected to see 4. That is a really strange team.
Do you think he's maybe going 4-4-2? Zabaleta, Ogbonna, Balbuena, Creswell at the back, and then Masuaku and Lanzini sort of right and left mid?
You may well be right there, actually. Because I got to say, it's one of 2 things to Diop. It is either a massive slap in the face, or it's a case of he's off. If it's 3 at the back. If Diop cannot get into that team with 3 centre backs, then it's all over whichever way you want to look at it for him. With 2 centre backs, it makes sense. Masuaku on the left wing, that makes a little bit more sense. That being said, if he was going to play with 4 at the back, I would expect Snodgrass to be in that team just because how well Snodgrass played against Bournemouth. You know, I can understand that it's hard to fit Snodgrass in a formation with 3 at the back because you have other options. Interesting. I mean, we're reading as much as we can into it at the moment, G. I like to see it myself just to try and visualise it. It's very, very. It's just going to be really interesting. I'll tell you what. If we're puzzling over it, old Gene Wilder's going to be there, and he's going to be looking at it, thinking, "Hold on, what's going on here?" He might be having a little shuffle, not in that sense, obviously, but he might be having having to rearrange things.
It doesn't really, even if it is 4-4-2, it's still a bit strange. He's playing Masuaku left midfield. I suppose in a 4-4-2 it's difficult to put Fanals in because I don't like Fanals out wide in a flat 4 because it's sort of like he's not quick enough really. His pace can get exposed a bit. Same with Snodgrass, and that might explain why Masuaku and Lanzini's there. They're fast enough to play on the wide of the midfield. Just a bit harsh on Fanals really. I just think he's been fantastic. Arguably our most important player. He's changed the game a little bit against Gillingham, and he misses out for this one. But possibly 4-4-2. Anyway, Sheffield United team, just as important. Then we'll talk about the game in general in a second. They're obviously sticking with their 3-5-2 kind of formation. Henderson in goal as expected. To be honest with you, this team's very predictable. O'Connell, Egan, Basham at the back. Stevens and Baldock wing backs. Fleck, Norwood, Lundstrom in midfield with McGoldrick and McBurney up front. The only person you can't predict for that Sheffield United team is who plays up front with McGoldrick. Will it be McBurney? Or will it be Robinson, or will it be Musa? And he's gone with McBurney for this one. Height. He's gone with Height. What do you make of that Sheffield United team?
Don't know. Don't care. Nothing particularly interesting about it. Well, you know what you're going to get with them. Geo, they're going to be really committed. He's just signed a new contract, as you may know. And just funny enough, only half hour ago I saw the owner praising him to the hilt and explaining why he's giving him a long contract and pledging significant funds. So I mean, it's a big day. It's a big day for Sheffield United, and whatever team he selects, they're going to come at us really hard. They're going to be a really stern test. They're going to run lots. Moyes wants his players to run. They're going to have to run tonight. They're going to have to be on full Forrest Gump mode, quite frankly, because they're going to have to go some to try and outrun Sheffield United, who are full of endeavour.
Their bench is Eastwood, Besic, Osborne, Musit, Jagielka, Robinson, Sharp. So 3 strikers on the bench for Sheffield United. I think it's just a case of who's fit more than anything. But yeah, a very strange team from David Moyes. He certainly sprung a surprise on us when no one was expecting that. Literally nobody. I have not seen anyone, and I include the Nose on this one. I did not see anyone predict that lineup before tonight. I mean, I got sent the team half an hour ago, and it was not that what David Moyes has done. I think David Moyes has almost played a blinder against the Nose tonight. A little bit. He's put false information. But it's just a bit of a strange one. He's gambled a little bit, which is good. It's good to an extent. What's your feelings now? You know both teams. You know the Sheffield United are doing what Sheffield United have been doing all season, but we've got a bit of a check. The good thing is, though, Gonzo, the fact that we don't know if it's 3 at the back or 4 at the back means that we can switch. If we are 4 at the back and it's not working, without subbing any players, we can switch to 3 at the back. We've got the personnel on the pitch, right? Creswell drop in, Zabaleta and Masuaku become wing backs, and we now go. Lanzini goes narrow, bang. We've now got 3 at the back. It's a very flexible personnel that fits the formation, which is one thing I like. I'm not any more confident than I was. I wasn't overly confident for tonight anyway, so it's not changed.
I'm quite puzzled actually. So I won't lie. I don't know who Rossa is. I don't know who Ngakia.
One's a right back and one's a centre mid.
Okay. Noah Jetty as well, which is really interesting. I mean, why do we not have? Is this a decision from Moyes? Why do we? Surely we have enough senior players in the squad to fill this bench with senior players, don't we?
There's no one else missing, really, is there?
I guess Yarmolenko's injured, is he?
He's injured, and so's obviously Antonio's injured.
Wilshire's injured, I guess. I wonder if he might have waited another week before
Fredericks is injured, so we just don't have players. We just don't have players. But the funny thing is, David Martin's on the bench, though. So why are we pursuing a keeper? I know Darren Randolph's not signed. I mean, we were a bit silly putting out a video saying Randolph is signed because it was all done apart from until he failed his medical. But then David Martin's clearly fit again. So
Geo, there's a song that's entitled "More Questions Than Answers," and quite frankly, that's what I've got here. Looking at the bench, looking at the team. We won't know. We won't know until they start kicking the football around. But yeah, as I say, I just wonder if it might have been wise to hold Nathan Holland back for a week or something with this in mind. They knew, they clearly knew.
And Connor Coventry, we sent him out on loan as well to Lincoln.
Well, who can play in central midfield? So interesting. But obviously the right back on there.
No Sanchez.
There you go. This is what I mean. Ajeti, Sanchez. There are other players who would look. We wouldn't have questioned it. If you saw Ajeti on there or Sanchez, I know we might not have liked it, but we wouldn't have questioned it. As I say, like with this Rossa on there and whatnot, Cardoso coming in. There are 3 people on that bench you wouldn't expect to be on there because of their age.
Do you then think this is Moyes sending a little message to David Sullivan? I need players.
I would hope not, Gio, because without being funny, David Moyes had David Sullivan in the interview room or in Sullivan Towers, or he's been able to have a conversation with Sullivan very, very recently. I think if we're at the point that after 3 weeks after his interview or 2 weeks after his interview, he's having to send subliminal messages rather than just speak to him, we're all in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but maybe he has spoke to him 2 weeks ago, and he's sitting there, David Moyes is sitting there thinking, hang on, it's 10th of January and I've got nobody. I've been waiting for this since I arrived.
Welcome to West Ham United. Again, David, again.
But then you go back to Moyes' first tenure here. You got Hugo on deadline day and Patrice Evra, who was free. That was it. So he's probably thinking, hang on a minute. I'm not saying I would blame him, but I would understand why Moyes is a bit apprehensive about what may occur in the January transfer window. I'm not saying he is sending a message, just as me just putting this out there. But I just think if Ajeti and Sanchez is injured, we've done well to keep it both under wraps, but also that's like crisis mode. We're in crisis mode. We don't have any players. No one's coming back. Antonio might be back for the Everton game. That's it. Wilshere isn't. Yarmolenko isn't. Fredericks isn't.
Absolutely.
Bare bones.
The bench has got arguably who you think's our best player at the moment on it. It's got a bloke who we only signed who was one for the future, who's on it in Cardoso, and it's got 2 blokes you've never heard of before. So I would say we are an injury away from crisis mode, certainly.
I'll tell you what's concerning. If we got a goal down, I don't think we've got game changers on that bench.
No.
Fornals is good, but I don't think he's so attacking that he can come on and win you the game. I think he can come on and hold the ball, do well in possession, maybe gets a little bit of things creating, but we don't have a striker on the bench. Our second most attacking player is Robert Snodgrass. That's a bit. It's a bit of a concern. We've got 2 centre backs and a right back on the bench. So if we go 1-0 up,
also, Gio, you think about it. Either Snodgrass takes the set pieces or Fornals does. So that might be a little bit of a worry there.
Lanzini's used to be okay. I don't know if he's able to get.
Yeah, but Fornals and Snodgrass are good at it.
But Snodgrass has been crap recently at taking some set pieces. I think I prefer to see Creswell taking free kicks than Snodgrass, quite frankly. But anyway, what's your final thoughts on this one? I mean, confusion it is, so we're going to go off and scratch our heads a little bit as to. And then as soon as the game kicks off, everyone's going to be watching, going, right, come on then, Moyes, what's the plan here? Is it 4-4-2? Is it 3-5-2? What was going on?
Well, quite frankly, Gio, I just hope nobody's tuned in to find out what's happening with West Ham, because we've probably made them even more confused because we don't know what we're talking about.
That's just reassured them, though. They're thinking, it's not just me. Good.
No, we ain't got a Scooby. Honestly. What is going on? We don't even know.
I know more. I know more about the Sheffield United team than I do about the West Ham United team.
Yeah, but
I don't know if that's a good thing.
This may play into our hands. It may not be that he's trying to fool old Geo and Gonzo over at Hammers Chat there. He might actually be trying to fool Chris Wilder. And I bet Wilder's looking at team sheets and I don't know if that's a 4 or a 3. Who's this Rosa bloke? Who's Cardoso? And, they're not going to know what to expect either. So it's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to the game, though. I'm not being overly critical. I'm just confused and don't know what's going on. But that may not be a bad thing. It may turn out to be good. Let's wait and see. We ain't got long to wait, mate.
Anyway, feeling confident?
It's hard. It's hard with the team. Gio, it'd be such a cliche to say yes or no. I don't know the team. I think if everything goes to plan, I think we can get a draw. I really do, but I'm saying that with a blindfold on. I don't know I don't know who's playing in what position. We don't even know where Masuaku and Cresswell were playing. We don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, really. But we'll see.
I'm sort of where I was even after seeing the team. I'm not changed because while I don't know the team, I do believe Moyes will have them as organised as possible for whatever formation they're playing. Moyes won't have decided this formation this morning.
Yeah.
He would have decided it Monday morning. They'd have been practising for 3-4 days and training ahead of tonight's game. So with that in mind, I still retain a level of confidence that we can get something, but I still also retain a level of confidence in Sheffield United and a lot of respect for Sheffield United in the sense that I think this will be a very difficult game and I don't think we're going to come away with 3 points. I'm going to stick with my draw prediction. I'm just going to straight down the middle of it. And I think it's a good point. You offer me a point right now, Gonzo, I'll take it anytime. I think next Saturday, home to Everton, is the far more important one. If you offer me 4 points from the 2 games, yes, please. And we manage to get 6. Massive bonus. Final score prediction from yourself. I'm going to stick with my 1-1. You said 0-0 in the preview.
Yeah, I might go with that actually, Gio. I'll stick with that because I just got no other evidence. Got no evidence, have we? So we'll go with that one, mate. But I'll tell you what is interesting. Just before we go, Sheffield United threw the cup. They chucked the cup. He made 11 changes for the cup.
But they won.
Sorry, well, yeah, but he won, but he didn't care about the cup. That's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know, because they played Flyde, so I think he looked at him, but I can pull in my reserve team here and win.
Well, yeah, nonetheless, I just wonder how losing that bit of momentum is my point. The club has momentum, the first team doesn't. They've lost a little bit, actually. The first team have lost their last 2 games. The reserves have come in, and they've won a game, so they've still lost their last 2 games. I think we took the cup seriously. We've got momentum, we've got 2 wins on the bounce, we've got 2 clean sheets. It may well play into the narrative of the game.
Possibly. Anyway, you guys at home, let us know what you think in the comments below. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here as always. Me and Gonzo will be back immediately after full time, where we'll be discussing whatever happens in the 90 minutes of football at Bramwell Lane this evening and what David Moyes actually did. Hopefully we'll have more of a clue then than we do now, but we can't guarantee you that. But the only thing we can guarantee is we'll be here having a little chat. See you after the game.